Let's see where we're at.
Well, we're getting somewhere if at 10 o'clock at night we can just drop a live video and people are like, all right, let's go.
Let's see. Yeah, people should be. Let's see if it's live. I just got to update. Sometimes on YouTube it doesn't update. All right, we will start talking about this stuff. We're just gonna kind of wait for a little bit to roll in.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. I wanted to double check because, all right, for everyone in the chat, we'll find this. I just wanted to make sure. So I saw so this map just dropped in the Hard Night Nightmares Discord, and I didn't see anybody else reposting it, and we're both dog shit tired. So I'm like, oh man, was I not supposed to post this? I didn't see anybody else posting it yet. But they said I just saw in the Discord like, oh no, it's postable. I'm like, oh good, because I definitely already did. Like I just wasn't looking at all. I just got all hyped up and was, all right, shit, spec map, let's go.
And
Fuck
Nick's
it.
dropping shit he shouldn't be dropping. They're gonna be like,
Yeah,
bro.
Jamie's gonna be so mad in the morning when she's like, "Wait, did you actually go live?" Yes, yes, I did because I'm an idiot.
To be fair, I kind of pressured you, so because you're like, we can't record tonight. It's too late. I'm like, I can do it.
You're
Okay.
like, "Oh, actually, we might
Oh,
be able to."
Carl.
All right, I am for
Carl wants to
everyone
do
that
it.
is here already. Just give us a second. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
give
make
me one
some
second.
posts. I wanted to get this out a little bit that we are actually live now. And then we can kind of get into this. This might not be super crazy. I'm sure you guys all know we just spent our whole weekend at Spooky Empire, so I am super tired. My voice is like probably all jacked up, but we're gonna make it happen. But yeah, that I mean, tis the season, right? All right, and I promise you, we will be jumping on this soon. Just getting the word out there a little bit. And we will be chatting with y'all in the chat and all that fun jazz as I pull all of these things up because I'm still trying to decompress. Alrighty. I do have a. Let's see. Check this around. Show. Adjust this. You're seeing all the inner workings of me going between 2 to 3 computers and trying to adjust things. This is really how it is. This is what the inner workings are. I don't. That is a weird thing. Sometimes, so I mean, not that the listeners or people watching care, but Seamus. Oh, here he is. I say Seamus. It's just
Back.
weird because when I set the title on the back end, it like doesn't translate to YouTube. It like it just says like welcome to our live show. It's so generic every single time. Even though I like adjust it on the back end. So I'm gonna change that
Well,
real quick, and hopefully
ad hoc. Well, at this point, our audience, if you're watching, you know how this shit goes. You're like, whatever,
this
bro.
is even more so like just going by like
So
on a
goofy.
whim. Um, Not that I need to pull up the live show on the other end, but we're
I'm
going
pulling
to.
it up on YouTube right now, just so
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the what we're actually talking about, the spec map. I should probably have that in front of me. I honestly haven't even fully looked through this. Like
I. Oh, I already have.
I sent it to you, and like that was kind of that. I posted it, and then I was like, oh, okay. Now I guess we're gonna go live. So I'm just gonna go take the dogs out real quick and give Jamie a nudge so she knows where I'm at and doesn't act too upset in the morning when she realizes what I have done. All right, why won't this open? Let's get that on this TV. Multiple screens here, people. Multiple screens. We're moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving. So, God, I don't even know where to start. What is this? What are we
I
doing?
know. What are we
God,
doing?
we're so fucking dumb.
It's so
Um,
stupid.
Jesus. Oh, let's see what the chat's up to right quick. All right. Savages. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
We got.
obviously.
You
Hey,
know that.
yo,
You
don't
know
knock my
that,
shit
Todd.
down, you ass.
New
Ah.
spec map? Oh, hell yeah. That's what we're talking about, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna kill the cat. Give me a second.
HHN Aholics. You know it.
Cut it the fuck out. Cut it out.
Was about to pass out and this woke me right up. Yeah, bro, you're telling me. I'm like, just, ugh. Mm. It's not mere. It's vitamin water because I'm even more tired. In the middle of the night last night, going into day 3, I woke up with a huge, huge Charlie horse in my leg. And it was a slow reminder that over the past 2 days at Spooky Empire, I don't think I drank one sip of water. I had no hydration in my system. It was all soda, coffee, and beers. But yeah, that thing woke me up out of my sleep. So I was like, all right, I need to force myself to get some water in
Christ.
me. Yes, thumbs up, like this video. Let's get this thing moving. I know you guys are all up waiting. Now we got this drop, so like we know you're all waiting for someone to talk about it. And we're the only ones that are just dumb enough to do this right now. 'Cause we just apparently have nothing better to do after a 3-day festival con kind of thing. Bro, if you got them, drink them. That's for sure. I have something in there, but I don't know what it is. You guys woke me up. Yeah, oh yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Did we
We're
wake you up, or did Horror Night
de-
Nightmares wake you up?
we are definitely on a bender weekend
Don't
of
shoot the
HHN.
messenger.
The cat. Dot 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 dot. The cat strikes again. Oh man, so much for. Oh wait, why is? Did Jamie's comment come up?
So much
How is
for
she awake?
That's different Jamie.
Oh, is
It's not your Jamie.
oh, it's a different Jamie. Oh, it is. I was like, oh my god, she's attacking me in
She's
her sleep.
watching.
She's doing it in her sleep. Delusion is setting in. Delusion
That's
is
fine. We didn't even have an
absolutely
intro
hitting.
song. What are we doing?
No, I just we're the lives are different.
Oh,
This one's
so that's
built
how much
different, I
I pay
guess.
attention.
Yeah, medical
All right.
maestro in the building.
Well, I've got my map up. You got your
You got
map
your
up?
okay. I do. All right, so let's tear through this typical style. I guess quickly, like if anybody is watching, that was at Spooky Empire. Like, thank you. That
Yeah,
was
that's
super
pretty cool.
sick. Got to meet a lot of you. Got to meet some new people. Got to hang out with all of our vendors. Um, we got to chit chat. It's they do the HHN panel, so Mike Aiello and Ramon were kind of roaming around the vendor um, area, so we got to chat a little bit with them. So that was really cool. Um, yeah, it was just overall, it's just, I mean, right now it's like a blur. I'm sure once I sleep and process, I'll be able to like break it up a little bit more.
Yeah,
But it was just overall really, really
it was a
fun
fun
time.
weekend. I enjoyed
Um,
myself. Yeah.
we did get the original announcement at the panel, El Artista Spanish Haunting. I still have yet. I'm gonna watch. I know our buddies over at the RIP tour filmed and uploaded the entire spooky panel. So if you didn't see that or know that, you can head to their YouTube page. They have it up there because I will be using their page as well to watch that because I stayed back. I wanted Seamus and Jamie to go to the panel so that way I can we did a live reaction in the courtyard of them kind of revealing it to me. So I know there's a lot of information they gave at the panel, and I just want to watch through and kind of dissect that myself. So I'll do that before this week's episode, which we already have a lot to talk about. Even if we don't get this spooky dump, which I absolutely think we are getting tomorrow morning, 10:34 a.m. Set your alarms. I think it's happening. But this is Friday's episode is going to be chunky because we're going to have a lot to discuss and we'll have our thoughts kind of more dialed in versus this where this is very like instant reaction and stuff like that. So, um, we'll kind of we'll get into all that in a second. I'm the map. Look at me. I am your map now.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Spooky Tooth Imperial Pumpkin Ale poured and ready to consume. Let's go in the spirit of things. Do you all believe artist guy Sergio is icon? I think he is icon as much as an icon can be in this day and age. Um, I think this is a much longer discussion. We'll talk about it maybe on the episode, but I think in short, I think the day and age of the icons being what they were, which was primarily marketing and like an overall theme. I think we're past that. I think the event is different now. So, can you call him an icon? I mean, we'll see when we get there. But I'm hoping that there is some sort of figurehead that stands out as an icon. But I just don't think we're in the day and age where we're ever going to get a full fledged what could have been years ago deemed an icon. That's just it's a different time now. I think. What do you kind of on the same line, Seamus?
Yeah, I don't. I know that Mike likes to give the stock answer. Well, he's an icon if you think he's an icon, and I kind of
Yeah.
agree with that. I think at this point we may at one point sometime in the future get a true new icon, but as far as Sergio's concerned, I think he's definitely like the mascot might be the better term for it. Like he's gonna kind of influence a lot of what happens this year, but at the same time, he's not gonna be like a Jack, you know,
Mm-hmm. It's just
controlling
past.
the
We're past
event
that point. I think.
themed around. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have that too often anymore. I'm not saying it's never gonna happen, but I think like last year with Sinister and Surreal, or even Oddfellow, which he was even more of an icon, quote unquote, than I think Sergio will be. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hope they definitely use him kind of as an influence throughout the park. I think his story is going to be really really cool to delve into, and I know we kind of talked about it a little bit live over the weekend, but um, yeah, no, I'm not ready to call him an icon, but at the same time, I'm ready to see what they do with him as far as as an overall immersive theme. I
Yeah.
like to said. I
Oh,
like to use.
funny you say immersive because take a shot every time you hear an immersive texture turn the panel. Are you trying to kill me? Are you trying to murder me? Oh, this is a lot. Okay, I really hope when I'm talking about theming with some better props, entrance, down menus. I really hope so too. That's my big hope for the year, right? When they talk about
Yeah.
that immersion at such a level, I do hope that those gaps are sort of filled. And again, I think we'll probably
Mhm.
talk about that more in depth on Friday's episode. The manor is the icon this year. Its evil is the event at the panel mentioned the art represents what we've seen this year's event. I
Yeah, I would
think we
agree
are
with
at that
that.
point too where like there's no there's no person icon sometimes. Sometimes might be, Oddfellow was definitely the closest in recent years, much closer, I think, than Sinister Surreal and Pumpkin Lord and stuff like that. But I do think we're onto something there where it's like different things can be the theme or the icon or what have you. But all right, let's jump in to this spec map. Hello, Casey from Facebook. Hello, hello. All right, so let's jump in because we seemingly have a decent amount to talk to. I'm looking up because my TV screen that I screwed in accidentally way too high is like angled up. But all right, so let's go houses. This is the typical walkthrough. We got what looks to be, and if you have comments about the stuff that we're talking about, chime in while we're talking about that property
Yeah.
because we're gonna walk around the park. You know how we do things on this. So right up front, Soundstage 23A. We still have the wrestling ring. We have the TV that denotes that is television. And then we also have a coffin and what seemingly Seamus pointed out. Do you want to explain what that one is? That little
Yeah.
bird?
Well, the bird was there originally. It went away, and now it's back. The bird is Wyatt Six. It's their logo, or their what are the
Insignia or
insignia? Yeah, whatever they want to call it. Like when they're on TV when they're on the program, whatever it's Raw, SmackDown, whatever. That's the logo that they go by. So that would almost 100%, you know, I think. Again, don't want to say confirm. This is a spec map, but
Yeah.
I think we can safely guarantee that the Wyatt Six will be a part of this house in some way or capacity. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I do want to note is that the coffin is still on it, and I don't know
Weird.
necessarily what the coffin would mean as far as the Wyatt Six is concerned. I'm now thinking, is it some combination of the Wyatt Six and
Mm-hmm.
Deadman?
I
I
mean,
mean, are
we
we still gonna get Taker in some way, or is there gonna be some sort of combination of the two? I'm trying to think what the coffin would necessarily denote.
hmm
Maybe the fiend coming back from, the dead. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
sure.
I mean, Undertaker. I get it. He's very. I mean, it's a name, right? Like most people, if you polled people on the street, right, and you're like, who are the Wyatt Six or who is Undertaker? Who do you know? It would be
Yeah,
Undertaker. Now, as far
right.
as like, is that either way? I don't think Undertaker's on the marquee, right? I don't think it's like the Undertaker's house. The selling point is WWE, not Undertaker. So like anything under there is just kind of, whatever. Where can I pull
Ryan's
this
living
from?
out in the street right now. Sorry, man.
My wife still doesn't let me back in the house after my Alexa Bliss comment last year. Yeah, things get a little wild on these lives. I'm so sorry you're having to deal with that. If you come on down here, well, Alexa Bliss is a lot closer. You'd probably get in more trouble.
I'd probably be in more trouble.
Undertaker question mark. Undertaker.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm thinking.
yeah. I this is how delusional. I thought he was asking who Undertaker was, or they were. I don't know. I'm just
I
so
mean,
out
he
of
may
it.
have. I don't know.
Could have
Undertaker
been.
is, an
I almost went
incredible.
into a spiel of who Undertaker. Like I'll get into that later when I do my HHN homework video, which I'll probably try and do one of them tomorrow at least. Because why would I rest? But yeah, I feel like the house will be wide six with cameos.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping that it would have been primarily like a Wyatt's. But I understand if they, I don't want to say forced because that sounds bad, but if they were maybe just inclined or maybe pushed into like, hey, if you want this property, like we're okay with you doing maybe 90% whites, but to allow us WWE to be at your house, we really want you to at least showcase one of our, Hall of Famers or what. Like I think
yeah.
that might have been like a part of the discussion if they're in there. I'm still just gonna hope for just straight up Wyatts. I mean, Bray and Taker had a match at Mania, so do we relive that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could potentially think right now would be maybe they combine the world of Bray and,
hmm
Bray's, what is it? Bray's Funhouse or Bray's Playhouse. I forget what it went by, but
Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly Funhouse, excuse me. And then you combine that with something within the Undertaker lore. Maybe we get, Paul Bearer. Maybe we get Undertaker.
Ooh,
We get that. Yeah, and
wow.
I think that would be cool to kind of see, like, Undertaker being pulled into Bray's world or vice versa,
hmm
and how you combine the two. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out
Yeah.
more as we get more
hmm Yeah.
releases of it. But
I'm very interested to see when this gets when or if this gets announced just because I'm curious if it's gonna kind of be like the when they did the Jason announcement. It's like, okay, well, we know Jason's here, but what does that really mean? Like
right,
we have, oh, he's at a camp and he's killing people. Like, yeah, no shit. I get that much. But like, is it, you know, '09 remake? Is it old series? Is it completely new Jason universe? Is it
right,
I don't know. And I kind of like that because like now people are gonna stop asking about Friday 13th and Jason now that we know it's here. But like we still don't know. And I kind of hope it stays that way till you walk through the house. Like just don't tell us that much. I love that surprise. Do you think do you all over there all think 34 could be a top 3 best years? I mean, it's tough to tell right ahead, but like you could make a case for it right off the bat. Time will tell, right? You have to run these houses to see
yeah. I
how it
mean,
is.
to use sports parlance, I would say on paper right now it potentially is top three. I
Yeah,
mean, for me, I don't think I've been to one with the just the heavy hitter announcement after heavy hitter announcement, like we've gotten so far, and we've only gotten four, like three, well, three and a half technically, because
yeah,
we
yeah,
still don't know if
yeah.
FNAF's a house,
It's an
but obviously it's
experience.
a house. So yeah, I think with the announcements we've gotten so far, I think this is leading itself or lending itself to being one of the best events we've had in at least recent memory, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna show this comment again because feeing God, who messes up
Yeah,
easy F related words
you
on
should
comments
pre
and
you sh-
and or banners? Come
yeah,
on.
come on, Todd. Proofread your comment before you send it.
Jeez. I
Only
would
noobs
imagine,
do that.
yeah, right? Jeez. As long as they do a tribute to Bray, I
Yeah.
honestly think the house itself will be a tribute to him. Like
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be
It's
something
gonna
that
be
he
a
would have
love
wanted
letter
to
to
see.
Bray and everything he gave us,
Hmm.
and everything he left us with. Because I mean, that man had some of the most creative ideas I think anybody's had in wrestling over the last 30 years. I think
Yeah,
without him, I don't think wrestling's the same as it is right now without him. I think
yeah,
he kept the art of storytelling alive in the product, and unfortunately, it's something that was kind of being lost a little bit until he was given, control over how do we want to tell your story.
hmm
So,
yeah. But yeah, Jillian, I know nothing about wrestling. I hope it's scary. I will
oh, it
fill
will
you
be.
in. I have been working on this like HHN homework YouTube series. Right now I only have Fallout out. I should be doing Friday the 13th soon, but I'm doing the IPs as they drop, so I can kind of dig into it. So hopefully, for anybody else out there that isn't wrestling, knowledgeable, I guess, or don't really know it, once it gets announced and I have an idea of what route it's going, right? If it's Wyatt's and Bray Wyatt or what, I'll dive into that history and I'll give you some recommendations of maybe some vignettes to watch or matches if you want to. But I think I have all the faith in the world in HHN Creative that they can make it work. That for sure. Wyatt versus Undertaker. I believe Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker was at Mania. I don't remember which one. Maybe 31. I think they had
Wrong
a
guy.
Mania match though. Yeah. But yeah, I really do think I'm feeling it. Damn you, Nick. Yes, damn me. I can't spell either. Don't worry, it's fine. This year will never be topped for me. Bro, it's looking into
Gonna
pretty
be
pretty
good.
cool. Oh, this is
Gonna be
this is
good.
interesting. Have you guys ran into any WWE wrestlers at HHN yet? This will definitely bring them in more now. I ran into Priest at Dead Coconut. So I've run into many wrestlers in multiple places. I've taken care of Kevin Owens a few times at my work. I've run into Damian Priest downtown Orlando, bar hopping. At HHN, I
You've
actually
walked
I
you
walked by
walked
Bray.
by Oh, you walked by Bray once? Yeah, I
Bray and
don't.
Braun Strowman were
Oh,
together.
very nice.
I don't remember what year. I want to say 30. But they were walking over by ET, those tent entrances. So I walked by them. I've seen Cody Rhodes. I've seen Matt Cardona. Um, I'm sure I'm missing some, but they do frequent the event, so it'll be fun to kind of like keep your eyes open.
I walked
You
by
also have to know the days too.
Yeah, I walked by Bailey once. She was there.
God, you
Didn't
said
get to see
Bailey?
her. Yeah,
Oh,
Bailey.
you're so lucky.
Hopefully, we'll get to see Alexa Bliss, and
Yeah, hopefully
we'll
Brian
shout
won't be
Brian
around
out.
because he'll get in trouble. We will tell her. We'll pull her aside and be like, "Hey," I'm be like, "Oh, Ray Ripley, this is what Nick said." All right, I guess that's confirmation right there. It was. I think it was 31.
Yeah,
All
Shotzi
right,
is there quite a bit too. You're right.
Shotzi's there a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, all right. So let's move on now. El Artista, a Spanish haunting. Seamus, why don't you take this one just because you probably have a little bit more insight than me, just based off of the
Yeah, I
panel
mean, we
itself.
don't have to spend a ton of time on the
No,
announced
no, and we'll
properties, but yeah, but for El Artista, I mean, for those, I mean, I'm sure everybody watching right now has already seen everything posted about it. It looks like something that's going to be unique and different and give us a different uh, item, a different culture to dive into instead of just doing the usual, same old when it comes to various monsters and ghosts and that sort of thing. We're gonna get a unique take on a, I don't want to say a common story, but the idea of a tortured artist, someone who is trying to make it or regain whatever magic they may have had at an earlier point in their life, and are willing to do things to get that back. And maybe those things aren't necessarily viewed as normal for a lot of people. I think of, the Blues House from a couple of years ago, Darkest Deal, where someone makes a deal with the devil to improve or to bring back their ability to make art, make music. Same idea here. He's trying to recapture the magic that he had as an artist, and now as a struggling artist, moving into basically a haunted manor, and he's going to try to use that as inspiration to bring to life his creativity and his artistry once more. Um, they didn't necessarily give us like actual inspirations for the house, but I do think that there is a lot of Francisco Goya in this. And if you
Mhm.
don't know who he is, he was basically an artist, I believe a Spanish artist. If, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad.
Mhm.
If he's, I don't know if he's was Hispanic or Latino, but I think he was Spanish. But either way,
Yeah.
he kind of lost his mind near the end of his life, and he started painting more, gruesome in a way that not like gory or inadvertently scary, but like just you could see where his mind was going as he fell deeper and deeper into his, whether it was depression or whatever else he was dealing with. So I think we're gonna get a lot of that as an inspiration in this house, which I think is going to be really cool in telling the story.
Mhm.
Plus, it's a Dylan house, so if anybody
Yeah.
knows who Dylan is one of the production managers for HHN. I don't know what his actual title, but that's basically he
I
helps.
always mess the titles up. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's
he
lead creative,
basically
creative director, executive
right,
director. They're
right.
somewhere in there in the
But
world.
his way of envisioning houses is so just beyond even like what most people I think can comprehend, and how his mind works, I think just lends itself to incredible house layouts and being able to set up something that really brings you into the world of what the story's trying to tell you. So I think combining his skill set with building the set, building the house, and getting the house set dressed and having all that talent there, as well as Ramon and his team's ability to write a great story, is going to really combine to make this potentially House of the Year. Um,
It's yeah.
Obviously, I'm being really early with saying that, but I think just everything leading up to this, I think is going to potentially give us you know, that that
Hmm.
that
That vibe.
that vibe or whatever you want to call it. I know we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We don't want to potentially have a coven on our hands here where it we talked it up like it was gonna be this big thing. But yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I'd like to. I can't remember, like you said, the titles of people. Dylan, um, but those houses, right? That the dead man's. It kind of almost re like revolutionized what a haunted house can be, right? Like we're okay with it maybe not being the scariest, but if it's that brilliantly decorated and that beautiful, like that's almost like a new category of house.
yeah,
Like you always had like, oh, this is the gore house or, IP slasher, or, but now there's like a category for beautiful house. And maybe that started back in the day with like gothic and stuff like that, but I think I didn't get to see that. I'm curious if people that saw that and saw like the Dead Man's, the Blood Moons can say that no, that it is on a different level than what got kind of gothic walked, so Dead Man's and Blood Moon could
yeah,
run, something like that. So it kind of created a whole new category of houses,
yeah,
and it's tough. And then with Ramon clearly pulling from his passion for, you know, the Spanish culture and stuff like that, like that I have no doubt will come through to
yeah,
us. Like you can tell if you're passionate about something, like it comes through. versus if you're just kind of forced to do something, it's kind of like it was kind of phoned in a little bit, whatever. But like, it's almost like look at Joker. Like Todd Phillips and Joaquin really wanted to make Joker. They made it. It was this amazing, brilliant movie. And then because it was so successful, they got forced to make a sequel, and we
Yeah.
saw how that went. It's just like you feel the passion and you can see it
Yeah.
come
And
through when
and
it's
I think
there.
like in the chat just pointed out, I mean, this house is gonna be staffed completely by Latinx scare actors,
Okay.
which I think is incredible. Like that's
Hmm.
really going to lend to the theme
The
of the house and where the
authenticity
story
too.
is going and make it more authentic. As far as like the effects in the house, I'm definitely thinking Hill House. We're gonna get that level of ghost effects and the ability to create those special scares that aren't just person in boo hole, person not in boo hole, and make you look
Hmm.
one way versus the other. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna get some really cool ways of showing this off. So I am really excited for this. Like I said, I have wanted like more, you know, more stories that go beyond what we are so used to seeing just a
Hmm.
typical, at least North American haunts. Like I want more cultural scares, more cultural stories being told because it just gives more avenues to
Hmm.
explore, and that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm really happy about.
Let's see. They're asking. So I can't
I
remember.
don't know the answer to that question.
I do think it was all Spanish lines. I think everything was in,
It was,
or
but I
maybe
don't know
I
if
might
the
be confusing
cast was
that with
completely Latin.
Monstros. Um,
Well, no, I
but
mean I think
yeah,
Chupacabras was Spanish or
yeah. I just can't
it
remember if
was
it
the
was
lines were.
yeah,
I
but
just
it's
don't know if
also they're kind of following suit of like the Monsters House last year, where it's like all female cast. Like it's like we're gonna immerse you in not just the atmosphere, but like the characters aren't gonna make you question where you are. It's it's
yeah,
it's not like
yeah,
you walk in and then there's like a just a off character and you're like it breaks that story a little bit for you and takes you out. It's a nice way of immer. There's multiple ways to immerse you,
yeah.
whether it's sight, sound, scent, whatever. But going all the way is like just brings it to that next level, which is what we expect at this kind
And
of
they
event.
showed off some of the makeup work and the mask work and the costume work that's going to be in this house, and that too looks very detailed. Um,
Hmm.
like nothing looks cheesy. Like I know that in some houses we do get some masks that kind of look a little costume store-ish, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But this one, I mean, the artwork they showed off for it, the production stills that we got. I mean, this does look incredible. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really pumped. And Ramon is definitely an up and comer, like when it comes to storytelling. I mean, I think he said this was his first opportunity to really lead a house
Maybe
by like
like take the
himself
lead. Yeah, yeah,
and take the lead on it. And I think that's gonna shine.
yeah.
Definitely
I'm
gonna
really
shine.
excited for that, and just from the interactions we had with him at Spooky, like you can tell the passion he has behind
Yeah,
this. Going back to that kind of first thing we're talking about, where it's
tons of
like
passion.
when you're that invested in something, like it comes through.
Right.
But so all right, so let's move along now to Soundstage 23B, where we have Five Nights at Freddy's. Wouldn't you know it?
FNAF.
It's 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 listed as a house. Wouldn't you know it?
Well, I
Um,
mean, it's a new experience. It's not the
we're
movie and it's
experiencing
not
it
the
in a new way,
game.
which is a house. So let's see. I'm curious when this. You would assume that this is going to receive an IP video drop like the others. So I'm curious when this one comes out. I'm very excited for this. The more I think about it, the more I am excited for it, especially maybe just because we saw those great Five Nights
It was the
costumes at
cosplay this
Spooky.
weekend.
And
Yeah.
it just goes to my point every time we posted it somewhere. Or maybe you put it on the story where it's like people are saying, like, the costumes, you can't do those costumes. They're too big and they're too heavy. Really? Because, like you said, you talked to them. These college students created costumes that
Yeah.
they were wearing all day
Yeah.
long, and they
Yeah.
looked amazing. They looked amazing in light. Now, if you killed the lights and adjusted the lighting, and for like house
And give them a
style, like
universal budget to build them.
you
Yeah.
can't tell me it's too heavy and too big. Come on, don't you can't bullshit me. Like it's doable. Um, so I'm excited. Uh, it's just a weird thing. Like it's a meme that I'm gonna post at some point that I haven't really fully fleshed out yet. But it's like I didn't really play the games, and I thought the movie was okay. But like I'm a '90s kid, okay? So like Chuck E. Cheese was my shit, and those things were terrifying. Like you ever seen those creepy bad pictures of the bad like animatronics, and they're all like, and they're all like jacked up,
The
like
one eye's moving.
yeah, like and just the vibe of being in that atmosphere, right? Like the pizzeria, the cost, like
Yeah.
it's just fun,
This
man. It's
house is
just
gonna, I mean, this house is gonna be, it really is gonna be scary. I think I like the movie less than you did, and
mhm,
I've never been big in the game, but I do appreciate the lore behind the story, and I think the the the, the costuming, animatronic, puppetry, whatever they decide to use is going to be like legitimately scary. Those things in the dark coming at you, or just out of nowhere, they just come at you. Like if Foxy comes out of a hole,
mhm.
or if you get like Bonnie's, you know, evil, evil laugh speech thing, whatever it does. Like it's gonna be scary. Um, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what Universal budget will look like with these
I, I
characters.
I'm glad that it's a sound stage. That to me proves like big open areas. Maybe we get them on the stage. Maybe they rig up some sort of animatronics that are pushed away, like up on the stage, so that way like people aren't messing with them or what like so
Yeah,
like because people are gonna touch them, but if you put them in a place where they literally can't touch
yeah.
them, like they're more off than
And I think we
more
can agree
safe.
too that you both of us love that 80s 90s arcade thing, and I think
Hmm.
we're gonna get that too, which is gonna give us some of that you know, nostalgia feel. So
Hmm. Yeah, those costumes were fire. All right, so enough about that. We will move along because we also aren't going to try to be on here for 2 hours, but we've already been here for almost 40. So, Soundstage 24. I feel like this icon just keeps
getting
adding
weirder.
stuff. Like, so Siths,
I'm
wings, tree,
I'm beginning
skulls,
I'm beginning to get more confident in saying we're getting graveyard too, or
some sort of
some
graveyard
form of
thing.
graveyard between graveyard, the scare zone, and graveyard games. I think we're getting something in that world.
Yeah, I
It's
I
still a
think so
very
too.
esoteric icon, like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But with the skulls they added at the bottom of it, underneath the tree, I think this is gonna be graveyard.
That adds a little bit more. And like we've been calling for graveyard, or at least we've been debating that on all these spec map episodes where it's like,
Yeah,
all right, is it graveyard? Is it? I think it has to have something to do with that. Now, is it a direct correlation to Deadly Unrest or Graveyard Games? I don't know. I kind of
yeah.
hope
I don't know if
something
it's
in the sorts.
necessarily a direct sequel, but I think it's gonna have a lot of inspiration pulled from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped up on that. And thankfully, we may only have to question it for another 12 hours or so because
Yeah,
maybe that's what we're getting at some point. Maybe we get the spooky drop and it's coming. All right, Soundstage 25, trash bags, film reel. I think we all know what they're
yeah. We
hinting at
kind of know
this.
what this is going.
It's just I think it's only a matter of time. If it does come, I think I was chat. I don't know who I was talking with over the weekend, but I was like, it would have been really funny if like they did the IP reveal videos and it was like all set up just like a Friday the 13th and art turns around. And I was hoping they would drop that before Jason Universe as like like because it kind of fits into
Yeah,
the comic aspect. He could it's you think it's Jason, it's like a black silhouette, and then he like turns around almost like a like the Joe Hendry stare, and it's just like Art the Clown, and he just starts doing his like straight face, laughing face, like it's like oh that would have been a fun little just like a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think the IP announcements are going to be on the back burner for a second because it does seem like this, and the rumor of the spooky drop coming from HHN themselves because they said you're ready for a spooky week or
spooky
something.
week.
They're very tongue in cheek, and the fact that Horror Night Nightmares dropped this tonight shows me that they're pretty
Trending.
confident in it
Yeah.
coming out tomorrow. But yeah, so Fast and Furious, that's where the Jason universe is rumored to be located, heavily rumored, I think, at this point. We did discuss that, I think, already. Yeah,
We
we
well,
talked
we
about
went live when
Jason.
they
Yeah,
announced it, so yes.
that's right. Yeah. We went live. So that one's a fun one. I'm excited. I love Jason. I got to meet one of them today. I met Ken Kersinger from
Yep.
Freddy vs. Jason. Got his autograph. Got to chat with him for a while. He expressed a lot of interest in the Jason house, and he really wants to come and go through this house. So hopefully, if somebody out there is watching or listening, and you have any inner workings in the HHN world, contact us because I got his information. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll pass it along to somebody. I'm not who the fuck am I gonna pass it along to? I'll post it on like I don't want to post it, but I'll try to get in contact with somebody. Be like, a Jason wants to come through the house, and there's not
A
many Jasons
Jason.
left. There's not many of them left now. And he was even saying he's like, oh, I wonder if Robert would want to come. I was like, Robert,
Oh boy.
England, can I can I come with you guys, please? Can I come on a tour with you, please?
We're not that
Um,
important.
yeah, just dropping it like, oh yeah, Robert. I wonder
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he'd want to come.
yeah. Rob, my buddy Rob.
But like, why don't you call him right now and see if you can start piecing together Freddy vs. Jason 2, please? All right, so Tent 4 Fallout, we got the official logo on there. We've talked about Fallout. I have my HHN homework video out there for you. So if you're not super familiar with Fallout, I think I did an okay job kind of going into the series and the franchise. Let me know in the comments if I did. I'm not a huge Fallout fan, but I did a good amount of research to hopefully bring people up to speed on the franchise itself and like what you can expect. I believe in Joe Hendry. Clap, clap. Yes, you do. And now, all right, so 10.3, this little emoji changed. It kind of
A little bit.
defined it a little bit more for us. So it's no longer, it went from snowflakes in a book to snowflakes in a book with like weird etching. Um, and now it's that without the book, but it has a little skull with a Viking helmet and an arrow. I don't know what the arrow is really for, but to me, that can show to me dead Vikings, Vikings undead, which was
Yeah.
this scare zone we've
Yeah.
been talking about for a while. Um, but yeah, that was I I'm excited to see what this is, and again, I'm like, wow, when are we gonna get these more information? And hopefully, only a couple more days, hopefully, or depending on when they drop it. But what do you think about
There's
this?
a
I know
lot.
this is one of your favorite scare
Yeah,
zones.
yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite scare zones. I mean, it was the first season I went. Obviously, I'm still kind of an HHN newbie, but there's a lot going on here. Like it, I think at first we saw like what it was like some snowflakes in a book, and
Yeah, that
now
was like the initial thing.
yeah, and now we've got snowflakes, a moon, a skull wearing what we assume is a Viking helmet, even though they never wore helmets with horns. Just so everybody knows that that's historically inaccurate. But either way, I digress. And then an arrow. So yeah, I mean, undead Vikings would kind of. I feel like it would mean something here. The
Hmm.
snow I think would entail that we're gonna get another house that's kind of based in like a cold, snowy environment where we get to play with senses a little bit, and that's gonna be kind of interesting to see them do that. And then the
Hmm.
moon, I guess I don't know, takes place at night. I mean, why? I mean, most houses do, right? But um, does it have something to do with the story, or is it just kind of there for you know to add to the image? But
Atmosphere
yeah,
and
I guess so. I don't know, but yeah, I'm if that's what it ends up being, I'm really excited for that too. I think it's another scare zone that's long overdue for some sort of treatment as a full-fledged house and story. So yes, I'm very excited. I do like
I'm
the title that was just put in the chat, Vikings Undead Winter's Wrath. That sounds fucking epic, and I'm
I'm a sucker
definitely
for
down
that.
for that. Um,
Uh,
so yeah, I'm yes. I mean, I hope this is some sort of Vikings Undead house. I guess go from there. I just said there's so much going on with this icon. Like, does it
there's a
all
lot.
mean something or no? That's the thing. Like, they could have literally just done the skull with the hat, and I've been like, Vikings Undead, let's go.
Yeah, but
with the arrow and the snow and the moon and everything else.
so I don't know anything about moons. Is this like maybe a specific like winter
Yeah,
time
yeah, I don't know.
moon?
It could be like
I don't
like
know. Do
winter
moons change by
solstice
season? I don't
or
know.
I don't know, waning moon, waxing moon. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm too
No,
old to remember my
pizza moon.
middle
I
school
know pizza
science.
moon. Hey, Dave. Dave grabbed that shirt on Friday, and he's already here on the live. And he did correct himself. It is actually a smiley face, not a sad face. Thank you for checking us out, Dave. I appreciate it. That's what Spooky's all about. You get to meet some new people. It's really, really fun. And you find some new things where now you're sucked into YouTube at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. But yeah, that's what we're working with. Undead Viking, Shipstruck, Ice Reading, Christmas Day. Just everything. The kitchen sink. That's all
Yeah,
what it is.
seriously, throw everything against the wall and see if it all sticks.
Yeah. Everyone's liking your title. Thinking that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And last year was my favorite. That really was for me like the saving grace. So and if you go back, I mean, I posted a clip, maybe a couple months ago, but it was clips from our way too early predictions episode back in November, and I predicted Vikings based off of that scene in the house because as we know from the past, like in panels and stuff like that, Slaughter Cinema, not I'll tie it together, but Slaughter Cinema is kind of like a testing ground for maybe not fully fleshed out ideas, when they kind of see what is best received, and that's sort of what gets called up to quote unquote the big leagues. That's at least how I take it, and I kind of viewed Museum a little bit in that sense too, because it was obviously not like cheeky bits, but it was broken up into different areas. So maybe that like the reception, everybody's saying that Vikings area was really cool. Like it worked in a zone. They know that. They're like, well, can it work into a house like a little bit? Like, let's do a mini run of Vikings. Did it work? Oh, people actually really liked that part, even though it smelled like dead fish. Yeah, they did enjoy that. So maybe now this is like that call up time. So, and that's kind of what got my brain working on that, where I was like, well, if we are, and this is a completely unconfirmed thing that we've kind of been talking about for years now, where it's kind of we're working on the epic budget, right? Like it's tough. You're building a multi-billion-dollar business. You have to snip something somewhere, and you just have to make it work. Um, and that was my idea, where it's like if we're still in this budget saving mode, Vikings, you already have some Viking props made. You might have some left over from the zone. Can you make a little bit more of those props for less money? Like because you don't have to make an entire house worth of it now. That's my reasoning for why in November I was like Vikings Undead I would make that would make sense for me. Um, but yeah, looking into it, Winter Nights is a Vikings tradition sacrificing offering
Hmm.
to
Okay.
gods. Okay,
Okay, yeah, that
that
would make sense.
I think yeah that rings a bell because I do think that I when the Viking stuff and the winter stuff came up, I went down a quick little rabbit hole on Wikipedia, and it seemed like a lot of stuff did happen around the winter time, and some
Yeah.
of the big battles, kind of like the Game of Thrones winter battle or something like that. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but I know there's like winters coming or something like that.
Mhm.
I get so scared of Viking, I jumped at me. Yeah, well, potentially be prepared. I just got in. Can you recap the last 45 minutes? Yes, it's on the
No.
spec map. I love you, but we're already pushing it. The ladies are upset, I'm sure. Well, Jamie isn't upset because she's sleeping, but she'll be upset
Oh, she
tomorrow.
will be upset when she logs in the morning and
She's
sees all
like,
the
"What the
posts and shit.
fuck did you guys do last night? Why didn't you go to sleep?" She's like, "I don't want to hear it when you're all tired." um, all right, let's move it along because we have more than just houses to
Yeah, I
talk
know
about.
it's more than just houses here.
So tent number two, we have the toy box which we had previously, and
Mhm.
now we have a rooftop.
Yeah, well, at first I was thinking one thing. Now that I'm looking at it again, it's toys in the attic because it's a picture of an
Mm,
attic essentially. I was initially
didn't
thinking
piece
Santa
that.
Claus. Maybe we're gonna get evil Santa, but
Okay,
But
okay.
I think we the last map we got was just toys in a toy box, and we were thinking evil toys, toys that are alive. And now with the roof, I think like attic toys in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's
That
a
makes
story
sense.
where a kid grows up and they put all his toys in the attic, and the toys come to life for whatever reason and are now taking over the house. Or are we getting another scary tales potentially, or
Mm.
another like what we got with the Tooth Fairy, where we kind of got like a messed up, childhood tale, but this time it's the toys have come to life.
I
Or maybe it is an Aerosmith house. You know what? They're losing their roller coaster. Maybe they're gonna get a house. Shit, Steven Tyler's he might be mad. So I
He's got
say
nothing
do
else to
it,
do. He's gonna
right?
attack the Muppets. Those are toys. No, I think what you first said, toys in the attic, that makes sense. I think
Yeah.
this is very. I think this is a toys related house. You just took the words out of my brain. Evil Toy Story. I'm thinking of like Sid when they all come to life and attack him. I
Yeah.
forget what Woody says, but he like spins his head around. It's like we see everything, so play nice. Like that's what I get
Yeah.
in my
Well, I
head.
don't like dolls, so I'm not down with scary toys.
I think we get everything. Like I just this is another house that I'm like excited. I know it's toys aren't like 90s related, but like I get that vibe, that 90s vibe, because that's when like toys and action figures were so big and popular. I mean, maybe they are now with kids too, but like we had everything under the sun had an action figure or toy, and we had Street Sharks, Gargoyles, every Marvel character under the sun, wrestling figure. Like we had
Yeah.
the figures, GI Joes, stuff like that. It was just so big. So like I hope it's something in that world meshed up where it's like these toys are coming to life, and I hope they can blow them up in scale so that it makes a little bit more sense. So I'm not like scared of little things.
Well, I mean, if I get like 1-to-1 teddy bears chasing after me, I might be scared.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's get to our final house. T1, Tent 1 hasn't really changed all too
This
much.
hasn't changed.
We're heavily implying on this map that we could be seeing a Hatchet and Chains house. And again, kind of like the discussion I just had about why I pegged Vikings. You know, Slaughter is sort of a testing ground for
Mhm.
potential, ideas that move forward. I'll have to break Hatchet and Chains to go back to this comment. Small soldiers, goddamn right. I love small soldiers so much. We got the we always talk about. We go on this. You got the Gorgonites and
The Gorgonites.
the Commando Elite. I think it was
Yep. Chip
Chip Hazard.
Chip Hazard. There you
Chip
go.
Hazard. The other
It's
one's the
so good. The
bazooka.
movie's
The
incredible.
bazooka guy, Nick Nitro. He was the Mohawk guy. Yeah. Oh yeah, love that. Okay, so Hatchet and Chains, but I think that just showed them they had a lot more story to tell. So I'm thinking that one.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
mean,
I
excited
mean,
for this one too.
yeah, I mean, out of all of the vignettes in Nick out of context, all of the scenes in Slaughter 2, I think Hatchet and Chains is the most is the one with the most they can maybe pull from. I think that there are others that they could potentially work with, but Hatchet and Chains, I think, just kind of gives us, all you got to say is Hatchet and Chains Demon Hunters. You're like, oh, cool. I want to know more about these dudes. Like, what do they
In.
do?
Yep.
Like, what else can we do with them? And plus, we've said before, I think we need more Western horror. I think that is something that's
Hmm.
lacking
Yep.
in the haunt world. So I think Universal, again, with their budget and scale, I think they can really pull something off here.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I've been wanting Western for a while at this point. So, let's get into scare zones. These are interesting. All right, so right up front we have what looks to be. I'm guessing that is the conservatory that they've
Yeah. I
talked
mean, it
about.
looks like a conservatory. I mean, I mean, I initially said greenhouse, but it definitely looks like a conservatory, or what would we consider a conservatory. Does
Hmm.
that mean we're getting a fledged scare zone here? I don't know. I
After
think that
them, after them talking so much about immersion, I would
yeah, I
really hope
know,
so.
right, I know, and my guess is that maybe we get an improved arch. Like instead of just the
Okay.
standard,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with the lettering, I think we get more of a robust archway or entranceway that is designed to look like a conservatory of some kind.
Hmm.
So yes, I think it'll be a full scare zone, um, as we've had in the past here,
Yeah.
and
We're used to it. We're
and
spoiled.
and hopefully it won't be just like they've done before, where they just like let's just stick characters from everywhere else in one
Yeah.
place. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I hope they don't do.
Yeah. Because, like, I get it when they do that stuff, but, like, it's just, it did come a little bit off. But to answer this one quickly, where do you guys get the spec maps? So, these spec maps are put out by our friends at Horror Night Nightmares. They post them in their Discord server and on their Twitter accounts. So if you find them on Twitter or X, the Everything app, you can find them there. But I don't have the image on this to pull up on the screen. But if you go to our Instagram, you can find the image. On the bottom of the image, it has their handles. So they're on Blue Sky at Horror Night Nightmares. They're on X at HNN Nightmares, so HNN Nightmares. And then the link to join their Discord server. Discord sort of like a gaming, chatting kind of deal. I'm really bad with Discord. I'm in a handful of them, but I can't keep up with it. It's too like automatic.
Yeah,
But that's where they drop them
they
and
drop it in
how.
their Discord
Yeah.
server.
So these aren't things that we create. These are kind of put out for the community by the folks at Hard Night Nightmares. Hatch and Chains, Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras would be a fun house. I would also be okay with Mardi Gras as a zone, which would be cool.
Yeah, I would like to see Mardi Gras. I think that's another one of the ones from Slaughter 2 that I think could be something could be done with. I just don't know if personally I'm as into the Mardi Gras theme than maybe others
Yeah,
are.
yeah, it's fun. Like Todd said, stained glass archway. Like it would be cool, right? It
Yeah,
would be fun if you could like literally walk in, like maybe even if you just
yeah,
have like a front. Like you don't have to fully dome it and do the sides, but if you just do one like wall in the front to make it seem like, oh, this is where it's beginning,
right.
that would be fun. Let's see. Hope's Real Zone gets was last year's Welcome Zone Blumhouse photo op. Really, it really did. We felt it last year, and I think they know that. They listen to the comments. They listen to the guest surveys that you take on your way out and the emails. They if you go
They pay
back in
attention.
history, you can see where things were wrong, and then the next year or two, you can see them pivot from that. So, like,
Yeah,
not for nothing, as big as this event is, changes are made because they know it's a premier event, and you just, you can't get away with that somewhere. They didn't post that. You're right. So, so funny story. So I did check their Twitter to see, and I was like, shit, did I post it? Like, and they don't want because sometimes they've been doing early drops in their Discord for people, and they're like, don't share it yet. Share it in X amount of time. And I'm delusional right now on minimal sleep and talking straight for 10 hours each day. And I was like, fuck, did I post this? And I want, but it did say in their Discord messages, they're like, okay, no, it's shareable. But yeah, it was fun. Mummy strippers would be a banger zone too. I think it would definitely work fun as a zone. I think that's about as far as it could go though. I
I
don't
don't
I don't think
know.
you could do a house of
Shit,
mummy strippers.
I'd walk through 8 rooms of
Yeah, right.
but that's just me. I don't know.
Right. I think that's about as far as I go. But I mean, so back to the conservatory. Did they make any other notes about like did you from
No,
the panel
they
take anything from this idea?
not I mean, not that I remember. I mean, they did mention the word conservatory, which obviously would go hand in hand with the artist motif, but
Mhm.
I they didn't really mention a ton outside of that. So I think that this is maybe a little bit of a hint, hint, wink, wink that this is where the immersion is going to come from. You're gonna enter into Sergio's conservatory. Like this
Mhm.
is kind of where the world is starting, and that's
Mhm.
why I think we're gonna get Artista up front, like right here as you kind of walk in on the left.
Welcoming you and letting
Yeah,
you know what's going on. Yeah,
right. But I mean, again, they also like did make a mention of, and I'm terrible with names, but I forget what her name was, but she mentioned that if you go right rather than straight into New York, the same thing will happen, like even just with a different scare zone. You're still going to be immersed into that same theme.
Okay. Yeah. So let me say. Oh, conservatory was a little bit before my time. I don't think this is something before your time. I think this is like a just a new thing. So I don't think you're missing out.
Yeah,
And
it's not like an
if I'm
IP.
wrong,
It's
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like a conservatory. I think again, I may be talking out of my ass as well, but a conservatory generally encompasses a group of artwork or a group of artists or a place where you can study art or share art and that sort of thing. So
Google. A conservatory is a glass enclosed structure often attached to a house designed to provide bright, comfortable
yes,
spaces for plants and or people.
yeah. So
So it's essentially a
essentially,
greenhouse.
this is where Colonel Mustard killed the butler with the gun, the revolver, which they never used in
It's always the
Cloverfield.
candlestick.
It's always the fucking candlestick. It's never the fucking revolver. Sorry.
All right. So yeah, so I
I
I
played a
do
lot of
think
Clue on Sega Genesis growing up, and it was never the revolver.
oh my god, I forgot about that. We used to play that all the time.
That
Um
that is a pet peeve. But
that's a
continue.
callback. But yeah, so I do fear a little bit, I guess, that maybe in the conservatory it's going to be a way to just like take characters from all the scare zones and put them in one thing
Yeah,
and be like
maybe,
it's
but
still a showcase zone. But yeah, the damn candlestick. So let's move to New York. New York, this is weird. So,
yeah. So we got
fuck
like
is this?
bank robbers, and so John Dillinger is irradiated by something.
It reminds it's I think it's like the mob.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the joke I'm making. Like, like John Dillinger was
It's the
like a
Sopranos
famous
gets
bank robber.
it's the Sopranos get sick.
Yeah,
Um but yeah, so a little biohazard symbol and mobsters and mafia and
well,
the
again, I
The
don't.
John Gottis.
Yeah, I'm not going that far. I think it's obviously it's some dude in a fedora with a what do you call it, a band handkerchief, what is handkerchief, I don't know, but it's got one of those things tied around his face so you can't see his mouth and his nose.
Yeah.
Clearly it's a bank robber of some kind, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it has to do with biohazard symbols. I mean, I think in the last spec map it was just the biohazard symbol, right? It wasn't anything else. Like that's all
No,
we
it
have is
well
the
had
bio.
like the little needle thing, but maybe a cigar or
Oh,
cigarette or something.
maybe. So yeah, I mean, people are saying mafia mutants, which I think would make a lot of sense. So like toxic mutants essentially, but they're
Toxic Avengers coming out. You know, maybe
yeah.
try
I
to
mean
capitalize on that
yeah,
genre a little bit.
that's a good tie-in. But yeah, something like these mutants from the sewer come up and they take over the city and become like a big crime family, I guess.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
which would be interesting. I think it'd be
Huh,
that
say?
yeah,
Stick 'em up.
it'd be a little weird, but
The
I
gabagool. If we
want
don't
them
get one,
dead.
if
I
we don't
want their
want,
mother dead. Sorry.
if we don't get one gabagool, like an actual like ghost with like meat on him, then I'm gonna be
Dude
very
just like
upset.
boils all over his face like
On the
gabagool.
gabagool. Hey, Johnny French is sleeping with the fishes. Any chance for a Boris Schuster appearance? I mean,
Yeah,
this
potentially.
seems wacky enough to like
Yeah,
tie him in there.
I could totally see this being like a Boris Schuster scare zone.
Hmm. Yeah, this seems like it would be in the adventures of. It's just such a
Yeah,
bizarre.
it really is.
Like, I'm so curious what this is going to be. This seems like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move along to San Francisco, which it's just people dancing or
Dancing,
celebrating.
dancing
So
people, dancing
is
hordes.
no,
What are
we're
you
not
thinking?
getting goddamn
Yeah,
Megan.
it's
No,
happening,
no, it's
baby.
not.
Megan Scare Zone.
If
It's
there's a
coming.
Megan scare zone or a house, I will go in a Megan costume, the dress and all. I
It's gonna
you can
happen, baby.
you guys can clip this. If there's a Megan straight up
Megan
Megan scare zone,
Mithrigan.
I will wear the stupid bow thing and the dumb wig and the stupid dress that nobody's gonna want to see me in. That'll be a thing. Um, other than a Megan, there are people saying too, like it's just a straight up party zone, like Rob
Guess
Zombie
so.
style, like how they had that
Yeah.
as like kind of a party
I mean,
atmosphere, just like
y'all want to
music.
be boring.
Megan,
I am
no.
extremely happy for Megan because I want to see like Nick just have a meltdown. That's what
Lose
I
my
just
mind.
that's
It's
what I'm
gonna be
waiting
like
for.
it's you with somebody's gonna have to have a meltdown every year. You with dragons, it's gonna be me with
Yeah,
Megan.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, clip this one, Albert. Clip it.
Haven't had a solid meltdown on Fear and Beer in a while. So
It's coming. It's
we need a
coming.
Mithrigan announcement.
Oh man, but
I
yeah,
need a new phone background.
I promise you, you're not gonna want that as your background, Brian. I swear to you.
So much
Your wife
hair.
your wife will absolutely leave you. 100%.
She's gone. The Alexa Bliss was one thing, but Nick in a dress, that is
Yeah, it's a
deal
whole
breaker.
whole different thing. Um, but yeah, so let's see. I'm thinking party mode, almost like the Rob Zombie atmosphere, because I think that was a well received vibe. I hope if it is this like party thing, I hope there's more of a theme other than
Yeah, I
just
mean it
like
could be
it's a party.
someone did just say like Victorian Mardi Gras or some sort of ball situation with like
Well,
AHS coven vibes. That'd be kind of cool, or like some sort of witch coven. Um,
so I think we'll talk about that in a little bit because that looks like
oh,
another scare zone a little bit.
maybe.
Yeah. So let's go to Central Park where we have the werecat that we've kind of discovered is like a thing, I guess. Like if there's werewolves, there's werecats. I think I saw on the internet. And if you read it on the internet, it has to be true. Um, so I still have zero idea what this could mean.
Yeah, I
I,
mean that or it's a cat badger because it kind of looks like a badger, a cadger, or a bat. Wait,
yeah,
never mind,
I
that's a different animal. But I mean, yeah, maybe some sort of like people turning into cats rather than werewolves. Like it's kind of giving that vibe of like
they're like, oh damn it, now I have to be in a really shitty movie. Cats
But
the musical.
oh god, that would be pretty horrifying.
Yeah, I mean they gave the cats buttholes with CGI, so like
Oh god, no.
that was just the worst.
Oh, the fact that you watched it, that's the
Oh, I didn't
scary
watch it.
part.
I just know
Oh,
how
you
bad it
didn't.
was. No, God, no. I can't watch that movie. God, absolutely
Wasn't
not.
Taylor Swift in that? Like not I'm not asking for a full deep dive on
I'd
cats,
have no
but
idea.
you know,
I know it was a very stacked cast because
yeah.
of how loved that property or that play is. But yeah, I have no idea what that really could be. Did you guys talk
I,
about the animal zone that's popular in Japan?
I don't
Possibly. I don't
maybe
remember
I
that.
don't recognize it, but maybe
But I
we
also
tend to.
talk about so much stuff that I always forget. People are like,
I
"Oh, can
mean,
you say this?" I was like, oh,
but
well, "You
I
told
will.
me."
Yeah, I mean, maybe the thing is that like they're not afraid to try different things from other parks. So I mean, I don't, or at least different parts of the world. So like
Hmm.
we got Dark Zodiac, and although it didn't really pan out here, maybe
Not to
this
like what
is.
they had. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was bad, but like we talked about before, I felt like it was too dark. It was hard to kind of focus on what was going on. But with this one, maybe this is something from a different park, maybe some sort of story that we got from a different park. But
Yeah. Because I remember that was kind of what I thought was gonna. Jesus Christ, the dogs are going insane. Jamie's gonna be so mad.
Jamie's like,
Um,
"What the fuck? What are
um,
you doing?
yeah, just go to sleep.
Go
Everybody
to
in the
bed."
house, go to sleep. Um, I remember talking about how I think Jungle of Doom sort of had like hybridy
Mm-hmm.
creaturey
Yeah,
morphs
somewhat,
almost.
yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Um, again, that sort of didn't come out fully, like fully fleshed
No,
out or not, but
and this seems very specific. It's not like could be any teddy
yeah.
bears. Um.
Oh,
Oh,
we did. Okay,
we did talk about
Hamakuma.
that. Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
but
yeah.
that isn't that like a
It's kind
teddy
of like
bear?
a
Like it's specifically like a teddy bear thing. It's not.
yeah, it's like this evil, disfigured, dead bear thing
Yeah.
that I don't know if it's their icon or not, but
No,
it's
but I think
something along those
the
lines.
werecat thing is a good guess. I think that obviously it is a thing people. I mean, I know that werecats I think is an actual animal or some sort of like
Something, yeah.
people call it werecats. I don't know if it's the technical term, but um, I have a feeling it may be something along the lines of a werewolf, but instead of werewolf, it's like werecat or were lion or were panther. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it would
Uh,
it would fit the theme of Central Park too. I mean, that's obviously got the trees, and you're kind of more of in that
could put little
world
like
when it comes
cat eyes up in the
to that
trees
would be cool.
for
Yeah,
lighting and
yeah, yeah,
stuff, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Yep.
know the rustling around. It makes sense. All right, so the final little scare zone over in Hollywood looks like that little masquerade style mask with
Mm-hmm.
vampire teeth.
With vampire teeth. We getting
Are you gonna
vampires again?
finally? Are you gonna get your? Well, you always want like the 1820s or something, but like this
Well,
could be like a
no,
20s vamp or
I,
whatever.
I don't think so. I think I mean, do we get another vamp this soon after Vamp 69? Maybe, but I don't think so. See, but I've always wanted like Vamp 1889, which is more like Western, but we're gonna get
Hmm.
that with Hatchet and Chain, so I don't think we're gonna get two Western
Yeah.
styles like things, whether it's a scare zone and a house. But with the yeah, it definitely has that masquerade ball type mask here, or
Hmm.
Mardi Gras. That it's
Yeah.
definitely could be a Mardi Gras mask
Yeah.
too.
Yep. Very
So
Victorian era looking like.
so
Could be
we could
like
get some sort of vamp, another vamp scare zone. I'd be surprised if we get one like that soon because didn't Vamp 69 was only 2 years ago, right? So like,
yeah,
are they
it
really gonna do
wasn't
that again?
that
But
long.
it is vampires or vampire teeth, at least as of right now. It looks like that, but um,
I'm
Vampire at
trying to
the
think.
Opera.
There's like this big
I don't hate it.
I'm trying to think. In Italy, I'm trying to think of what it is, but there's a big holiday in like Italian culture where they use those like very decorative masks. And I should remember because I think I wrote a paper on it in college, but it's just not sitting with me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you graduated college quite a few years ago.
Venetian masks. What is the holiday where they wear the masks? Does anybody know that in the chat? Italian holiday where they wear
Yes, I
masks.
mean that's we obviously have Italian scholars that listen to us on a regular basis that
You
know
never
everything there
know.
is to know about, Italian
It
culture
might
over
just
the
be like
nice.
masquerade or something. Italian
Well, I
masquerade.
mean, yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like a masquerade ball style or Victorian style mask, potentially Mardi Gras. It could be any one of those things.
The Carnival of Venice. It's an
Okay.
annual festival. It's world. It's famous throughout the world for its elaborate costumes and masks. So
Hmm.
that would be pretty cool. It's essentially the Italian Mardi Gras.
Venetian Carnival. Yeah. Yep.
That would be
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So if they do something like that, I would be all on board
Olive
with that.
Garden.
Mari, I'm trying to go back through the comments.
Okay. Brian's over here just
Thanks for
being
hanging for a
wild.
little bit with us, twins. The Johns twins, appreciate it. I know it's a late night. We appreciate you jumping in. Carnival, yes, Carnival. Oh, I probably could have found the answers in the comments before I found it on there, but yes. And the OG, because when you're here, you're
Your
family,
family.
just like Fast and Furious. All right, so yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think that would be an interesting way to make it less vamp and more
Yeah.
like carnival
And I mean,
masquerade, whatever.
again, not to be like the super, you know, reading between the lines. It doesn't necessarily have to be vampire teeth. I know that it
Mm,
screams vampire teeth, but it could be another type of monster with sharp teeth. I don't know. Just saying.
yep, 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 yep. All right, so outside of the scare zones, we have a little mini like black box that just says Horde, and it's got a chainsaw and the little roller skating or roller blade. Yeah, roller skates. Those are
Roller
skates, not
skating
blades.
chainsaw people.
Outside of
Ew.
Mel's Dying.
Oh,
So is that like a thing now that's back on the table? I
could be.
remember our friend Scott had, I think, originally brought this up. I forget where the rumor first started, and it kind of fizzled out a little bit. And people were sort of like speculating, like, could they do that? Would be very fun, a nice little addition that doesn't take too much. Um, I would like to have maybe they, like we said, they listen to people, right? Like they listen to what people say. Maybe Seamus has been vocal enough for them to actually move the chainsaws back out of the scare zones and into specific locations. Seamus might have
I mean,
saved or ruined your scare zones
you
depending
could
on
just
your
get
take
rid
on the
of them
chainsaws.
entirely, but hey, look, I get it. I'm obviously the weirdo here that doesn't like them, but I kind of like the idea of taking
Hashtag
that
ban chainsaws.
taking that Mel's Dine like
Give us that
motif
50s
and
aesthetic. Put them in like the skirts or whatever, and
yeah, and I like the idea of them wearing the roller skates like the old drive-in restaurants, kind of like where they would come out and they would serve in roller skates and stuff. And
Mhm.
obviously, I'm not that old, but I would have to imagine that would be kind of a cool tie-in to Mel's. They haven't really done a whole lot with Mel's over the last few years, and
Yeah,
yeah, I mean some sort of car hop
mhm.
situation.
That would be fun.
What it has to do with chainsaws, I don't know, but hey, I mean they need a reason to use them, so throw them
Yeah,
somewhere.
and they're gonna have to be there. It's just it's
Oh,
never gonna go away, but at least they
I
can have a
love it.
home.
I love it when they're just like, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna ruin your night." Right in your face, and like, no, that's not cool, dude. Not cool.
This is a good question. So, what does it do to HHN bar? I
Hmm.
would anticipate this maybe as sort of like how the Megan Horde kind of came and went.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it's a
it's a
permanent thing.
constant. Yeah, it
So
won't
I think it would
constantly keep
be
happening.
they'd kind of come out where the parades are. They'd skate out, rev them up, do a little zip around, and then back in. Maybe it's every hour, maybe it's every 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I would say something like that too would sort of be tied in with that. We have yeah, one more chainsaw comment. We have Nightmare Fuel as a show, and it also looks like Lagoon Show has made its way back on the
Um,
map.
buddy.
Welcome on in, contestant number 34. Weird late addition for this rumor to be
So
popping up.
they
So
did
there's a
kind
reason,
of.
kind of. Seamus, why don't you get into that one? Because
So at
I,
the yeah at the panel they didn't confirm that there's a Lagoon show, but they definitely like it slipped. I forget exactly what happened, but somebody had asked a question about the shows and this that and like what are they what is their plan for the Nightmare Fuel show and Mike, I don't want to put words in people's mouths. I don't know if it was Mike or someone else, but they definitely like slipped and said, we really do need things like obviously Nightmare Fuel and a Lagoon show to help break up, you know, the
the people.
monotony of just houses. People need other things to do, and
Hmm.
I think when they said Lagoon show, everyone was like, ooh, like so, and they more or less wink, hint, wink, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a Lagoon show again, everybody. So I think that yeah, that's why it was put on here. I think everybody can safely assume that we'll get something there.
Hmm.
We definitely we need a Lagoon show again. They've completely redone that whole feature of the park. The regular day to day Lagoon show is incredible stuff. I love it. I love it a lot. So I definitely think that they need a Horror Nights specific one. Even if it's like going back to what they did a few years ago, where it was just like music from the movies and that sort of thing, or like the classic
Hmm.
monsters. Jeez, sorry, the classic monsters one.
Yep.
That would be cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. The Mel's Dying came from Insider Legacy. Yeah, I think they made mention of it, but I think it kind of originated. I think there was some sort of application that went live that mentioned roller skating,
Hmm.
and then it kind of evolved from that. So and I think people just started kind of piecing stuff together at that point. Like, well, why would roller skates involve? Okay, well, we got the die-in. That would be pretty cool to tie in. They put it on merch. Was it last year when they released the Mel's die-in? merch, or 2 years ago.
That was a couple of years ago. We've
'Cause
seen that for a while now.
yeah, but either way, it was like everyone has one, right? I saw so many at Spooky. Like maybe that was their little test to see, hey, does Mel's can that be more of just a photo op for people? Like, can we? How can
Yeah,
we
I don't.
tie that
I
in?
think I'd be they obviously changed the sign to be Miles Die-In. I think it would be nice to have something additional
Something more to
to
that.
it, like
Yeah,
not just you know it being there, but yeah.
yeah. I think so as well. All right. So that is the Spec Map 3.0. That's what we're working with. I'm thinking we're gonna start getting originals dropped in
Mhm.
11 hours. Oh,
Bless you.
excuse me. If you have any last minute questions, fire them away. We're not going to be on here forever, but just a couple last ones. If you can do us a favor, like the video, throw some comments. And if you're not subscribed to us already on YouTube, hit that button.
Yeah,
Subscribe on YouTube. If you don't
do
follow us
all
on
the stuff.
socials, Instagram is our main social. I'm kind of done with Twitter.
Puppy
I hate
boys out.
Twitter. Facebook is fine, but we're most active on Instagram. If you know us, you know that. Um, but if you have any other questions
Someone
or
did
anything like
mention
that,
bringing blood bags back, and
I
I think as a
that'd
Fallout
be so fun.
fan, Radaway in Fallout is served in basically like IV bags, so they have a perfect opportunity to give us Radaway drinks in blood bags, and
Mm.
I think that's a good way to bring them back. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Universal. I know you listening. I know you listening to me.
Yeah, they that would be fun. It's that tough balance of like, well, do we, we try not to get everyone super plastered, but like it is a fun thing. Like
Well, you
people
know
have been
what?
asking about that
They gotta
forever.
make up for those light bulb drinks because those were
Oh,
gross.
those were god awful. Let's see. I'm actually trying to pull up the answer on this one. So how many spec maps were there
Oh,
last
that is a
year?
good question.
I'm trying to find
Do not know.
on their website because I know they post all of their
I'm gonna guess.
previous
I think it
maps.
was 3 or 3.5. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was like three
Yeah, the website's not fully
because I think
loading.
because last year they again did the original dump, so like I think
That threw things off a little
yeah
bit.
by like June we had known basically all of the originals at that point. So
But I'm gonna do a quick little search to find online because I
yeah,
think
I think like
it's.
Rich said, the last one was 3.5. I remember something it being like 3.5.
But yeah, either way, they do put a handful of these out throughout the seasons, and it does. This website's a little tough to navigate. Speculation map history. I will get there for you guys. I will. I'll do my best to find these answers for you. I swear. 2015. It looks like there was four last year. And
Four. Okay.
and so 3.5 was their final one, and that one I think was after the original dump because they put the official logos on there.
Gotcha.
So I think that's where they kind of popped on. So appreciate that when you're exhausted, Todd. Thank you for joining in. We do what we can for the people. We, if there's one thing you could say about us, is that we give it all. We give
Yeah,
the
well,
effort in there. We
yeah.
do what we
Jamie
can.
can't get mad because this was my idea.
Yeah, I can finally blame somebody else for my stupidity.
Because Nick
Is
was
this?
legitimately gonna go to bed, I think.
I was.
But
I
I'm
was.
like, hey man, I can record, and that's just the push he needs.
Yeah. So is this the most accurate spec map? That's interesting. I'd have to go back and look at stuff. Like what the first couple versions
Uh,
were. I know they
I would
were a
say
little
that
bit. They're
all
on it
of
right now. Yeah.
all of the unannounced have been pretty consistent so far. So I think, yeah, I think it's
Hmm.
pretty accurate. And obviously with the four that we've had announced,
Hmm.
um, all of which I think outside of Spanish haunting, I think outside of that one, we're all pretty consistent.
Yeah. I'd have
Now,
to. That would be a fun Maybe that's a fun episode. We can go back the last like maybe 5 years and look at Spec Map 1 versus what came to be and find when
Yeah.
those were released. That would be a fun little look through. Nope, thank you. Jamie is fast asleep. I promise you that. She is sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. Will we plan follower subscriber meetups for HHN? Probably. Maybe do something. We're pretty open about that where like we post um, very heavy when we're there. So like we're always down for a a meetup or a drink or a house run. I know last year did get a little crazy trying to we do our best to split going through and enjoying the event with friends, but also we want to say hi to everybody. So there we maybe that would be a fun thing doing like a hey on this day we'll be here for an hour and we'll just like get drinks at Coconut Club or something like that. I kind of liked the Fanta drink. I I know it's bad, but it was fine. This is my favorite. Okay, so your scavenger hunt was awesome. Watched last year. How about doing something similar with followers this year? I would love to do something like that. I okay, so that might be on my to-do list. So we're definitely gonna aim to do another scavenger hunt video. As far as maybe hosting one for other people, I could maybe do something where we like print out sheets, hand them out, and we score it. It might not be a filmed thing, just because I would like to make sure everyone has like proper capabilities in that department, videoing and understanding the aspect of what we need. Um, but yeah, it's I would like to host something like that if people were interested, if followers wanted to like do a scavenger hunt. I'd be down to host one for the night and just kind of sit back and tally up scores and stuff like that. You all do one night event for it. I forget what it was the premium Scream night. So we did get tickets for this year. So we will be at the premium Scream night event this year. That is on Thursday, August 28th, the night before the event starts. I heard way too many good things about it last year. And I already broke my rule. I was going to never talk about it again on air so people wouldn't buy tickets. So it's more dead, but here we are. But yes. All right. We need a drink and a house run this year for sure. We absolutely do. We will make that happen 100%. And if the stars align, maybe Alexa Bliss will be there with us as well, whether it's in the house or not. Given everything we know and don't know so far, what are you most looking forward to? Let's see. So, not to oversell our hype list, because our hype list comes out during our 1 week till HHN Podathon. If you are a new listener of sorts, we do a 1 week until HHN Podathon, where if you think doing 3 days of Spooky Empire and jumping on a live is crazy, wait till the Podathon. From Friday until opening day Friday, we release an episode every single day. So 7 days straight, or 8 days straight, really, 8 episodes. And usually our final episode during that podathon is our hype list for houses. I mean, right now I'm excited to see Jason back. I'm excited for El Artista. I think that's going to be another beautiful, beautiful house. And I'm really interested in the Lagoon show coming back. I really hope that that's like a thing and it's not just like a little blah, 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 but whatever. I'm excited for that to come back. I know it's kind of a throwaway for some people, but this is really, really fun for me. All right. Clown and Cornfield, I have yet to see that. I'm a little behind on movies. I've been busy with spooky Empire stuff and all that stuff. But who needs sleep? I think I need sleep. I think we are wrapping up. I think this is the end. But again, thank you all so, so much for being crazy enough to, on a Sunday night, be on a live stream until midnight. It really doesn't go unnoticed, the love you all show us constantly. So make sure you like, subscribe, do everything, do all those things. Tell a friend, tell your parents, tell your dogs, do everything. And we'll see you next time. See ya.